What is up, guys? Welcome back to Wild Rift University. I am Thing1, and today we have an exciting game for you. This is a 5-man. It is at the beginning of the new season, so everybody in here is basically ex-challenger, except me. The other team, I think, is full of grandmasters and ex-challengers as well, for the most part. I do recognize a couple of the names, but I don't know them all directly. This season, I barely had time to play. So I haven't really climbed up a lot, so I'm still an Emerald. I'm not even in Diamond yet. Most of my friends now are already Masters, Diamond 1, Diamond 2, but as you can see, my Masters, Diamond 1, and Diamond 2 players are still willing to play with me, even though I'm still Emerald. It just kind of gives you an idea of where my skill level is, actually. It's just I just haven't unfortunately had time to actually play. This game, I'm actually pretty excited. I feel like we actually have the better team comp. Their team's a little bit more picky than ours and a little bit stronger early, I feel. Well, not really. I feel top lane should win. Bot lane is kind of back and forth. I feel like their bot lane actually should be stronger earlier. Their jungler's actually better than us early, but our mid lane should be stronger than the Yasuo mid lane, even though Yasuo is also kind of a soft counter to Ahri if you play her correctly around the wind wall, but Ahri should be able to bait out the wind wall and win the fight, but still. I'm a jungle main if you haven't watched my videos, Grandmaster primarily, and Vanquisher 1. Even though at the beginning of my clear, if you're a high elo jungler, you're like, wow, your clear is really terrible. Little rusty. I've been super busy with a lot of stuff. I barely had time to play, and I just kind of messed up my jungle clear quite a bit. I will admit that. So what my mindset is on this game, and I actually played this game a little bit differently. So I really focused on my mini-map watching. I barely actually watched myself walk around the map. I just watched myself on the mini-map. And this is something that a lot of junglers talk about at high elo. You don't hear people say like, oh, glance at the mini-map. I'm actually playing off of the mini-map. And this takes a lot of practice. This isn't necessarily something you can just do right off the bat. You have to really get familiar with the champion, really get familiar with the map. Like, obviously I'm still looking at it, but my eyes, like right now as you're looking at the screen, it's primarily looking at the minimap. I'm not looking around. So here I'm trying to set up a gank with this Jace because on the thing I can see that she's super low. He sees me coming. This is just him being completely greedy. This was absolutely stupid. I'm coming in, I'm invisible. We have it pushed. There's literally no reason for him to go in. He goes in, almost dies, survived with 1 HP. And because of that greed, now he's gonna die right here. He gets flashed on, ignited, he runs away, dies. All he had to do was just keep attacking the tower. He would have kept all of his health. I would have just walked up, one shot or walked away. But nope, he was being greedy, not thinking, playing selfish rather than playing as a team. And got himself killed and gave away a second kill already within the first, like, basically 2 minutes of the game for no reason whatsoever. Our Jace really struggled early. This game, a lot of our team actually really struggled early.
Top turret is under attack.
So right now, with my team being behind, basically, as you can see, my top lane's giving up 2 kills. My bot lane's giving up 2 kills. I'm like, okay, so basically all my lanes are currently losing. How am I going to approach this game? I'm thinking like, okay, I need to try and get some of my lanes fed. I need to get myself fed is really what I'm focusing on. What I'm starting to see is like, okay, it's looking like this game, I'm going to have to probably carry this game because my lanes are struggling. And I specifically picked Evelynn in this game actually because their team is so squishy. I know that if I get ahead, that I can carry this game. So right here, I'm just being patient and waiting. I actually want to back up real quick. I want to explain this right here. So as you see him right here, instead of just going right around to the front of that bush, like right in front of me, as you notice, I actually walk behind it right over here. And the reason why I do that is to give myself more time to go invis and everything. I mean, I guess you could technically say it probably doesn't matter because if there was a ward there, it would have saw me a little bit sooner anyways. But the way I was looking at it is like there's a chance that maybe if he has it further towards the other side of the bush, like towards that bottom part of that rock facing the lane, that maybe it wouldn't see me. So here, just being patient. I'm not trying to show myself quickly or anything. I just want to wait, try and find a play to open up. Now, one thing I wish I would have done here, I wish I would have started with that before I went in. A little bit too soon, which is really unfortunate. If I would have just altered a little bit later, we probably would have actually got 2 kills secured up a little bit easier there. Rengar gets greedy, tries to go in against an Evelynn that's invis. Really unwise. So we secure a nice little 2 kills right there. I get a kill, our ADC gets a kill. Perfect situation. Like, because obviously, yeah, I want to get fed, but obviously I need my ADC to get some kills as well. So once again, what I'm doing right now, I'm primarily looking at the map. I see the dragon's going to be spawning here soon, so like I'm planning that like, hey, I need to back here soon and get vision, or I need to back to get my buys in. But as you see what I do here, I put a ward down in the dragon. It's so often, it's so annoying. So often you don't see players save a ward for this. Objective, and as you see, I immediately like I pinged if you saw the thing like, hey, put a ward there. So often players don't save a ward to put there, because then what happens when you don't have a ward there, you kind of get into this guessing game with the enemy jungler and the enemy team. Like, okay, are they going for dragon? Are they going for rift? Which one's gonna happen? Because right now, like, we don't know where they all are. We don't have vision in the map. We don't have any deep wards. They could be doing rift right now, or they could be waiting out the dragon, waiting for us to start it, then to collapse on us. We don't know. You know, nobody puts a ward over at the rift, even though we were asking for one to put over there. They get it. As soon as they get it, we know, okay, now we gotta blow this thing up. But what that does mean is because we didn't have vision there, we sat around not utilizing our time well. We could have started the dragon a long time ago, but we're worried that the Rengar is just sitting in bush waiting to blow me up or somebody else up. And now, because of that, we lose our mid tower. And our top tower is getting like hard pushed as well. I gotta rotate to top to try and help this top lane and save this tower.
Top turret is under attack.
So that was just a bad utilization. All that would have been avoided if you just would have held a ward to put onto the like here. Like, I don't know why I flashed. Flashing was so dumb. Like, I literally still could have walked up and made it. I think part of my thought process for flashing was like, I didn't want him to see me and then immediately start running away or flash away into like his tower. So I think that was part of my reason for flashing. But I don't know if I necessarily had to flash there. It's not like the worst thing to do, but I think it could have been here. I wanted him to push the tower because he would have denied all that gold. Didn't listen to me. He had enough. You know, he didn't have a lot of health, but the reason why I felt like this, so I just kind of like railed him for not backing when he had no health. But here we just killed the top laner and we just killed the jungler. Yasuo's bot lane, the ADC and the support were bot lane as well. So that was a free push for him, 100%. The wave would have been completely destroyed, and it also would have stopped the Gwen would have lost all that XP as well. So the nice thing is it did keep, the wave is still in the middle, so this does set up for another gank. So he sees us going in. Right here, this is like great. Gwen's S2 is down. It can't stop an engage right here. So we're trying to set up an engage. I'm setting up my back just in case. It looks like he's coming in. I stop, put my charm in, and then I do not know why on earth he would push her away. He's still half health. I'm right there. The only reason she survived is because he knocks her away. Like I said, the Jace was just not playing very well at the beginning of this game. He steps it up like at the end. He starts to do good damage, makes better decisions. But man, the beginning of this game, I don't know what the heck this guy was doing. It was he's not a player I usually play with. I'm not sure whose friend of mine he is, but making a lot of questionable decisions. He did still do really great damage. He did participate in team fights a lot, so that really helped. But I feel like he kind of sabotaged himself a little bit. And then as you also saw, after he stayed too long and then died to the jungler by staying too long as well. So it was just a really interesting moment. So here, like, look at this. I didn't go in right away. Why didn't I go in right away? Because my team wasn't there. It was literally pointless for me to go in. Like, I think, like, if you're maybe not a higher elo player, like, if you're a high elo player, you realize why I didn't go in, because that would have been a 2v1. But if you're not a high elo player, you're thinking, like, oh, I'm Evelynn, no, they're right on me. I'm going to try and attack and burst them right away, because, oh, I have ult and everything. It would have been completely pointless for me to go in right there. The right decision was just wait, be patient, not utilize my abilities. A lot of people think, oh, second I see an enemy, boom, burst abilities. Completely pointless. This also right here, this is a horrible rotation. So I was all the way down in there, in my red tri-bush. I walk all the way across the map to do wolves and clear a wave. What the better play would have been, do the Gromps real fast, back, then push the top lane, then go to my wolves as well. Instead, I did all that for wolves, 3 minions just to back to head to my the freaking Rift Herald. And now my timing's off also. Here I also want to point something out real quick. So if you look at my items, I'm not building boots right now. A lot of people are already getting onto their second tier boots. I'm purposely waiting to build boots. And the reason why I'm doing that is, like I said, I'm realizing that, like, okay, I'm the strong person in this game. I'm the one who's going to have to carry the team. If I'm not strong, we're going to lose. So, like, I was like, I need to have as much damage as possible, okay? And I have to trust my positioning. And this is why, like I said, I'm really playing off the map this game. Playing off the map as much as I can.
Ally slain.
But you see how that rotation actually really screwed us here? If I would have just backed when I was at the red tri-bush, let me break this. So the red tri-bush is right where Knot is, basically, right over there, in case you're not aware. If I would have just backed there, I would have been able to actually get my buys in. I would have been able to then push out the wave, clear my side of the jungle, and be at the rift. But all because of that, like, the rift's already up. Their team's already over there, because we're assuming they're basically doing it because we can't see anybody. That was all misplayed because I didn't back. I didn't just clear the Gromps, back, and then push up. It threw off the whole timing of everything. Bad clock management, really bad map positioning, really bad rotations. Here, obviously, it's pretty obvious. We're trying to take out this Gwen. We got to get something. We're going to lose from the Terrell. It's pretty obvious. We completely misplayed it. Now that right there, hold on. I want to defend myself. This was on purpose. I purposely aimed my ult this way. I was expecting her to flash forward. She didn't flash forward, so I was trying to predict her flash, which ended up making me look stupid. But if I would have predicted it, everyone would have been like, oh, dang, wow, calculated play, but unfortunately, she calculated my calculations and turned it to 0. But it would have been really cool. I thought I was about to look like a genius, actually. The whole moment, I was like, oh, I'm going to catch her. She's going to try and flash my ult. And the second she does, she's going to flash right into my ult. And it did not work. Luckily, we still got her. So that made me look less of a fool as well. So as you can see right now, we're still really far behind. We have one dragon. My focus is still really like, okay, I need to look for picks. I need to be patient. I need to keep the enemy guessing where I'm at, because the enemy team knows still at the moment that, like, hey, Evelynn is their win factor. Evelynn is what's carrying the game for them right now. If we kill her, they don't really have the damage in order to win the fight. I'm also really focusing on farming, trying to make sure that I stay ahead as much as possible. Have my team wait for fights for me at the same time. Okay, so watch this fight. I play this fight so well and so slowly. So I get my heart in, go in, get my ult. See how I... Okay, look at it. I actually hit the wrong person. But watch how I position my ult. When I position my ult, I position myself to go back into the bush, okay? So I'm super low right now. My team's low. But because, like, I'm in the bush, nobody can see where I'm at. And otherwise, they just jump on me. Because look where the Rengar is right now. He can literally just one-shot me. If I'm dead, the dragon's now free. But they don't know if I went over the wall. They don't know where I am because I positioned myself in the bush. This allows me to reset, reposition, and move forward.
Enemy slain. Shut down.
Here, setting up, waiting for my help. I'm trying to bait out the Rengar. I gotta be real careful though, because he's in the bush. He positions the wrong way. Boom, there's no opportunity. And now here, this is where I mess up, okay? So look at this. I kill the Rengar right here, and here's the Jace. The Jace is immediately jumping in, okay? Me initially running away is okay, because if I didn't initially run away, the Gwen would have just jumped on me and, like, killed me. But I have enough health to where I probably could have still survived a little bit of it. And then me and the Jace could have jumped on top of her and finished her out. But I get really scared and I hard run away way more than I needed to. Okay? Then I get in this position where I'm like, okay, should I do the dragon? Should I help? Should I do the dragon? Should I help? I feel like one of the reasons why I was a little indecisive here is that I had already been, like, trying to help the Jace a lot this game, and he kept kind of, like, screwing me out of, like, his decision making and misplays. So I didn't really necessarily trust him in the fight. But honestly, because he's my teammate, I still have to trust. Like, he's a high-ranking player, so obviously he makes decisions. He's just, had a bad early game. And he kind of fed and made the game part of the game. Here, I feel like I played this really well, allowing me not to take throws. I should have come in a little bit sooner here. I waited too long to re-engage. And I actually with my ult as well. Like, terrible ult. But I should have come back into that fight a little bit sooner. If I would have come in a little bit sooner, probably would have, I may have got double kill there instead of just the single kill. We still end up cleaning up the karma, so that's good. Right here, as you see, I have my 3 items. I decided to finish my boots because I felt like this late into the game, I need to have a little extra movement speed, because I'm also realizing movement speed is something that's stopping me from making some of the plays. My rotations are bad. Like, in a lot of those plays, you see, like, I wasn't at the right place at the right time. Here, man, this was super nice. I was trying to get my heart on her, missing it. And then she hit really slow. I had to go flash. We get the kill. But yeah, reason why I had to go with boots there for sure is like the little misplays, not getting in position fast enough was definitely hurting me. So upgrading to the boots at that point in time, good bet. I like the Jace pushing up here because like we just saw 3 of them on the lanes. We know we have 1 dead. So pushing right here is definitely a good bet for him. Right here, like, part of the thing for me right now is like I also realize I'm fed. So what can happen when you're fed? Not dying is like the most important thing you can possibly do, because I'm worth, I think, I can't remember how many kills I have right now. I have to wait to see. I think I have close to 10 kills right now. So like if I die, it's like the equivalent of giving up. Yeah, I'm doing it. If I die, it's like the equivalent of giving up like 4 kills, 3 or 4 kills. It's like basically dying just as much as my whole team has died all game, but in one go. And then if you look at the gold of the enemy, like I'm about to give away, if I die, I give like 1,000 gold away. And I basically then, if I die to the Lucian now becomes just as strong as me. Or if I die to the Gwen, now the Gwen is like back in the game. It basically finishes an item for her. If I die to the Yasuo, I'm basically activating his 10 death power spike and everything. So it's just like, I have to be really careful. So as you look at a lot of these fights that are happening, like I am being really careful and cautious, and the engages are wrong and like at times, but it's also correct, because once you get so fed, like one of the most important things you can do is not die, because you also have to realize the enemy team, when you get like at higher heroes, they understand the value of you. So like they will misposition more in order to try and kill you just because you're worth so much gold. And them dying but killing you, to them is worth it, because they look at like, okay, I'm only worth like 200 gold. If I kill him, I get 1,000 gold. So 200 for 1,000 gold trade, definitely worth it. So, and that's a big way how a lot of teams throw games. So I am going in, but I'm taking my time going in. So it is a little planned, but it also still could be executed better. It's one of those things where I'm not technically doing anything wrong, but I still could do it better. Here's another misplay. So as you can see right here, let me break this down. So actually, I'm just gonna let it play out so you can see it. So their enemy team goes in, we kind of mess up. Now I'm gonna break this down. Now my Ahri, she dies right there. Okay, let's break this down. Let me kind of tell you my thoughts. So I'm farming, the enemy's coming in and everything. Right here, this was the right spot, but right here, we should have engaged, okay? Because if I'm thinking correctly, here's my thought process. So like, once again, I'm worth 1,000 gold. So this is my thought. If I pay attention to the map and what's going on, okay, they definitely have numbers, but I have ult up, okay? And what my thought process is, okay, if Rengar has ult, he could jump on us, kill us both real easily. We die. The Gwen's right there. We're fighting inside of a jungle, so everything's really piled up. So Gwen's going to be able to get massive damage on us. And then if the Rengar has ult, he'll be able to jump on us. But what I'm not paying attention to is this. The Rengar's hard chasing an Ahri. You never want to hard chase an Ahri in a small space. Why? Because she has her charm. What's the other thing? I didn't place my charm on Rengar right away. If I would have placed my charm on Rengar right away and Ahri hits her charm, he's basically screwed because he's double charmed. He has decreased magic resist. I'm fed. I have ult. We'll blow him up. Jace is right here, just in the bottom of the corner. My team is coming right up on top of us and everything. We literally would blow him up. But instead, like, I'm so focused on like trying to live. I'm not making the right play or thinking about taking the information on the map fast enough. Like, part of the reason of why like trying to learn as much about the game and the champions that you need to do is so that you can utilize the information on the map quickly. The more your brain has to think about, the less you can utilize information on the map in order to make the right decision. Because as you all know, League of Legends is a game it's very fast paced, it's very slow paced. It can take 20, 30 minutes to end the game, but then it can end in like 1 second. And so this is a play where it's like, it wasn't necessarily bad, but you see the Jace hit him with the accelerated shot. The Ahri hit him with the charm. My charm was on him, we double charmed him as well, easily killed him. But instead now, we're fighting in a 4v5. They're trying to bait out Baron and everything. So it was just a really big misplay. A misplay by me. I could have had the heart on him sooner. I also could have realized like, oh, he obviously doesn't have heart. Really good ult disengage. Here, once again, I need to be really careful. I need to not show my position, because if they know where I am, then it makes it easier for them to make decisions on how to fight. If they don't know where I'm, like, as long as I stay invis, like, am I in front of them? Am I beside them? Am I behind them? Am I trying to flank? What am I trying to do? It keeps them on their toes, because, like I said, if I die, it's a big deal. But also, this is one of the other reasons I hate being so fed and being worth so much bounty. It's also making me play a little bit more cautious. And when you have a lead, you need to be aggressive. And we don't fully have a lead. We're still pretty far behind in gold. And this is the other reason why I have to be so careful. I can't just go in, because I also have to realize like I'm actually the only one really on my team who's super strong. Like other than the Jace. I mean, but the Jace is also like feeding a lot. The Jace is strong as far as gold-wise. He's farming really well. He's just making really bad decisions that are causing him to die. Here I want to go in. Luckily, my support saves me. He's like, no, dude, we don't know where they all are on the map. And he saved my life here. Misplaced my heart again. And the Gwen survived 1 HP. 1 stinking HP. Like, you love it. You know? I have noticed this Evelynn nerf a lot. Here, I'm trying to kill the jungler, but I gotta be careful with my positioning. So here's another situation. So here, I actually want to go for the Baron. I'm telling my team, hey guys, look, they only got 2 people alive. Let's get the Baron. My team's like, no, let's get the dragon, or let's get the jungler. So this is a really good example of following the team's decision, even if necessary, it's not the right decision. I believe the right decision right here was do Baron. It's a 2v5. We're chasing a guy with 1 HP. There's no way he can contest Baron. But my team isn't listening to me, so instead of fighting, trying to start Baron by myself, letting Baron chunk me out, I'm like, okay, I'm making the right decision, but my team's making a different decision. It's better to make a decision as a group, even if necessary it's not the right decision, because a decision will play out better if you work it as a group versus even if it's not the best decision, versus if you take the best decision and try and play it on your own. So here I do another really smart play. I put the heart on Gwen on purpose, not because I'm going after Gwen, I'm trying to realize this jungle. Stop his back. Somehow my thing targets him, or minions at him. We kill him. Immediately go back in. Finish out this. We finish out the Gwen, and then we're all pinging towards the dragon. Now the dragon's right position. We're all too low. They're spawning too soon to do the Baron. So let's utilize this dragon. That's also a 3rd dragon. So that massively buffs. Here, this is a great call. So the Jace pushes the mid. This is a really big thing right here that you don't see a lot of players do. So understanding how to utilize multiple objective pushes. And you have to know when. So a lot of times people do is they'll see an objective and the whole team will rush one objective. But you can actually get multiple objectives at the exact same time. You don't have to just push the one objective. So like you see, the Jace pushed the mid. We pushed the dragon, okay? That allowed us to get 2 objectives at the exact same time. Just letting you guys see kind of like the kills and everything real fast. Now, how do you know when to do that? That's the question I think that a lot of people struggle with. So like, if the jungler's dead, then obviously, you know, this gives you a chance to probably push 2 objectives at the same time. So times where you may want to be a little more cautious at, maybe if they got like a Jinx or an Ezreal or a Ziggs, someone who's got really good objective stealing ults, that might be a time that maybe like, okay, securing the better objective may be a better bet because that player can defend the lane and go after the objective at the same time. Here I'm like, dude, stop trying to take my blue light. I'm carrying this game. Give me the gold. Let me carry the game. But in that situation, like we had basically them all dead. They were just spawning. They don't really have a objective stealing ability. So I wanted to really focus on like, hey guys, let's push both lanes at a time. So that was a really good example of like how to do that as well. Okay. Sorry guys, my dog is barking right now. She just got back from her run and somebody probably came up to the door. Something, maybe the mailman, I don't know. So now we have 3 dragons. So we're ahead in gold now. And basically once we got to that 3rd dragon, it got us ahead in gold. We're now winning the game. Finally, we're actually winning the game. In my mind, I wanted to back here because I had like an item spike, but this is once again a perfect example of what I'm talking about. I told my team, hey, I need a back. I got an item. It's going to make me stronger. My team was like, nope, we're fighting. So instead of just continuing to back and say, nope, they shouldn't have fought without me, I told them I was backing. I changed my mind and I go and I help my team. Okay. Here, I could have helped them, but nope, I see the Ahri's about to die. Immediately go help Ahri. We win that fight. My team cleans everything else up. This right here is an example, okay? Here's a big difference between higher elo players and lower elo players. Higher elo players, they make a decision, and then when their team says no and does something else, instead of whining and pining, just forcing themselves to do what they want, they change. So right here, my team didn't want to go for Baron. I switched. My team's changed their mind. I'm adapting my playstyle to what my team wants to do as we go. So here, basically, what kind of happened, so we're all deciding, hey, let's go Baron. But what we see is that they're pushing up the mid lane. And we know they don't have vision. So like, this is a perfect time to bait Baron. So we all go into the bush, and the Ahri accidentally walked forward just a tiny bit too soon, which really sucked. And so now we kind of, these last few like moments of the game, so great. It shows exactly what I'm talking about. High-level players make a decision, and then once new information happens on the map, they react to that based on what should happen, based on the new information. Back and forth. Like, we're going to rewatch all this real quick. So we're all like, okay, fine, let's go to Baron. The Nautilus is like, nope, we're going to fight. Okay, the team's like, okay, fine, we're going in. I'm fine, let's go in. Boom. Kill the jungler. Get a kill right here. Boom. So here, let's I just want to like break this down real quick. We'll do more like fast play zoomings, those zoomies. So here's the first one. I wanted to back. My team didn't want to back. So instead of being like, well, nope, I said I'm going to back. They didn't listen to me. I'm going to do that. I adapt my play style to fit what my team is doing. Bad flash, but whatever. I'm trying to save him. Here's the next one. Okay. My team is thinking, okay, let's maybe now is a good time to Baron. Let me move up right here. Now is a good time to go to Baron. Right here. Yep, here we go. We're like, okay, now is a good time to go to Baron. But what happens? We see them pushing in the middle of the map. We decide to bait. Our mid lane actually pops too soon. They scoot back. The team's like, say, hey, let's go to Baron. Nope. The Nautilus engages. The whole team changes their mind immediately. Rotates back forward. Goes in. Here, I'm immediately saying, hey, let's go to Baron. I'm rotating towards Baron. The team switches to rotate. This time the Jace doesn't follow, but honestly, so like, I actually agree with what the Jace did here. I think we made the wrong call. I actually think the Jace made the right call here. So if all of us would have stayed, because we had minions push there, we would have blown up that tower in probably like 2 or 3 seconds, okay? And still been able to go back to Baron. The Jace got the Baron, or the tower all by himself, but then ended up dying. If we would have just stayed there, we probably would have killed the tower, been able to get away and start it. So here now, what I'm basically doing, I'm not fully utilizing. So I wanted to start it. Our Jace just died. They have 2 dead, 1 dead. I'm like, crap, they're all coming up. I'm not paying attention to the fact that on the map we clearly have wards, so we'll be able to see when they pop up. And their jungler is still dead. So I'm like, oh crap, let's run away. I'm not paying attention to the map. I'm not paying attention to the information that we have. So I'm like, oh crap, we need to run away. My team's like, no, what are you doing? Do the Baron. And so then I once again realized, okay, I'm making the wrong decision. I adjust my decision making and return. They're too scared to engage anyways because we're ahead and they don't have their jungler with them. So they basically give us the Baron for free. But if my team would have just listened to me, because I made the call and I want to listen to them, we could have possibly given up a free Baron. Now the game it's basically won. The game's basically over. All we have to do is not throw. So here, I'm going to talk about this. So this is what a lot of players do. So the Elder Dragon's up. We don't need Elder Dragon right now. Elder Dragon is 100% a throw. It throws the game. It possibly loses us the game. We have 3 dragons and a Baron. If we're going to do anything at Elder, it should be nothing but a bait. Nothing but a bait. A lot of times, players, especially at lower elos, they think we have to get every objective that pops up on the map. You do not have to get every objective that pops on the map. A lot of times objectives are how you lose games, because imagine we fight here and somehow they ace us and steal the Baron or steal the Elder, or maybe they don't even ace us. Let's just say they kill all those at 1 or 2 and then they get the Elder and they still have 3 or 4 up. Well, now they can just hard push mid because death timers are like over a minute. Here I'm walking around in the jungle just to try and look for a pick, and it ends up being the right decision because boom, my knowledge goes in, hard engaging. Whole team immediately. Once again, like such a good example. Look at this. So the team is looking at split pushing a wave. Okay, lane. Look at the lanes. We're looking at split pushing. The Nautilus is covering our flanks by going into the jungle. The Jace gets caught out a little bit. The Nautilus immediately responds, gets a great ult, knocks out 2 people. The whole team rotates down, get a nice ult for a person, tons of damage. The Samara goes in and just goes ham on everybody. The Jace is going ham damage. We just shut up the game. It's people responding to the map immediately to make a decision as a team. In this game, we were really far down. I ended the game 14-0-9. So, I mean, really carried the game early. The Jace, I feel like, came back. He struggled really bad early game, but definitely came back and played well at the end of the game. Made some good plays. I feel like his decision-making was a little questionable, but, like, here, check this out. 4-8-18, great amount of assists. 50-50, not too bad. 14-0-9, 6-5-12, 6-5-8, 3-5-17. Just great teamwork all around. And I feel like both teams played well to their champion pools. So their champions on the enemy team was more of like a pick comp, and they tried to play pick comp a lot of the game. Really, what they should have done, because they were so far ahead, they should have probably grouped sooner and they probably would have won. But basically what was happening is the Gwen was like, I'm so much better than this Jace and we're all so far ahead. I'm just going to push this Jace nonstop and then force them to fight 4v4s and my team's stronger and they win. But if they would have probably grouped as a team, they probably would have won. But look at this. Look at our team fight. Jace 67%, Gwen 22, me 70, their jungler 52, our mid laner 55, their mid laner 39. Our ADC 42, their ADC 52, our support 61, their support 57. We basically out team fight them. And a lot of times people don't realize team fights are what win this game. Like laning is important, but most of the time in this game, team fighting wins games. It isn't so much split pushing and picks. Like the team that's better at team fighting, utilizing map pressure. And the Jace did a really good job at split pushing this game. He made lots of really good split pushes as well. I do feel like he made up for a lot of his early game bad plays, but definitely made the game harder than it needed to be. I felt he fed that Gwen pretty well. And then you'll even see like right here on the gold graph in just a second, like this game was a really uphill battle. Like it turned into, what looks like a stomping and everything, but it wasn't. This game, as you see, like look at this. Look how far behind. We were like almost 4.5K gold behind at one point. We didn't actually even start to win in gold until the 3rd dragon. as well. And that's because those dragons scale so well. The more getting those dragons, that's why it's so important. But we basically just had to outplay, outmaneuver, outposition. And this part until the third dragon was basically me not allowing myself to die, getting picks, keeping my team in the game by keeping us as close in gold, helping us win team fights. After we got this third dragon, my team was then stronger. You saw my team was basically killing people just as much as I was. They got to a position, but they were able to get to that position because I was making the plays necessary to help them continue to give them time to scale. If I would have just gotten mad and like, oh, this game's over, my team fed, blah, blah, and I wouldn't have been really hyper-focusing on like, okay, what do I have to do? I have to play extra good right now because if we got to get to late game so my team can scale and we can win. And that's exactly what I did. But yeah, guys, that's the game. I hope you learned something. Thank you for coming back to Wild Rift University. I got another really good game, Lee Sin game for you guys. I'll probably be posting that tomorrow. But hey, subscribe to the channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, please like. If you're looking for a Discord, come check out Wild Rift University Discord. We also have a clan as well. Lots of us players play with each other, lots of high-ranking players. The Discord's basically diamond and up, so easy for you to find other players to climb with as well. And you can always reach out to me to get tips and tricks and hints as well. Peace out, guys.